Good morning, traders. My name is Sitlengema from QuickTrade. Welcome to our technical analysis workshop. Please indicate if you can hear me, guys. Thank you so much. You can use the chat too, just to shoot me that message to indicate if you can hear me. While we are still trying to type those messages, please tell me, is there anyone who's new in technical analysis today? Who's new, who's never done anything on technical analysis before? Please let me know. You can just type the yes if you are new. Just type yes if you are new. Morning, Gert. Mr. Jones, hello. You can hear me. Thank you so much. Okay, Evelyn is new. Okay, Evelyn. Arun is old. Okay. Good morning, Arun. Okay. Evelyn Lubelo. Vuyokazi is new. Mohammed Nana is new. Okay. Who else is new? Who else is new? Is it just 3 people, guys? I'm very well, thank you, Arun. Very well, thanks. How are you doing? Okay. Do you only have 3 new guys, people? Is that all? Mpo is old. Yeah, I know Mpo Mosman. No. Mpo is old. I know Mpo. Yeah, Mpo is old. Yeah, man. Same here. Same here, Arun. Same here, big guy. Kobas. Yes, morning, Kobas. How are you? Marubini looks like that. Okay, guys. We only have 3 new guys. Okay, that's fine. I will take them through the process later in the session. For now, let's just do let's just do the job. Okay, what do you guys have? Is there anything specific that you have that you'd like me to have a look at? Please give me those instruments, CFDs or what do you call it? Forex. Please give me those. I had a good profit on the day and the top 40. Oh, okay, that's nice, Arun. I'm very happy for you that you made some money from the top 40. Were you shorting? Were you shorting the top 40? Okay, it's DSY. Evelyn wants AGL. Okay, Evelyn. You're putting me on the spot here, Evelyn. I see that. Okay, DSY, top 40. Okay, top 40, you went long. Oh, okay, nice one. Okay, guys, do you only have 2? Any other stocks or instruments that you have? Oh, okay. You're only trading indices now nowadays, Arun. Okay, that's nice. As long as they are making you money. Pietro, morning. How's it? Okay, Mpo is saying Nedbank. Okay. Uh, no, but Kingsley, you cannot say forex. What is forex? There are so many forex pairs. You have to be specific there, big guy. That's better. USD That's what I like. Thank you, Mr. Jones. Okay, JPN. What's JPN? What's JPN there, Kingsley? Okay. No, that's fine. It's okay. I understand. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 for now. If you have any other stocks that you'd like us to have a look at, please prepare them. When I'm asking for the second round of stocks, we'll have a look at them. Okay, now let's have a look at DSY first. Our DSY, it's been picking up nicely. You must always remember to refresh your charts whenever you come into the trading platform. Okay, last week we did very well. We're up over 6%. We are trading above our simple moving average. Okay. I was actually expecting to see 135 on this stock. I don't know if it's still coming, but last week we had a nice bounce. So we just have to wait and see what happens going forward. Okay, let's mark this support here. This is a quarterly time frame. This is a quarterly chart that I'm looking at here. It's 137.78, or we can just call it 138. I've now moved to the monthly chart. This was our quarter end of the second quarter in 2018, around 137, 138. That's why the price bounced off this area here on the monthly chart and it shot up. And we have the price trading above this support area here. I'll mark this support area black. Let me mark it black. Let me make this a little bit thicker. So this is our main support right now on DSY. That support is around 148. I'm using these turning points. You see these turning points here if you are new in trading. These turning points, that's what I'm looking at. So I expect the market to bounce off this line like it has. So we just need to see whether there is consistency or there is any follow through above this area. If we get that follow through, that could mean that the market is about to maybe turn and move higher. I'm talking about DSY here specifically. Our overhead resistance is here at 155, 154 area. This is where we have our resistance on a monthly time frame. Let me mark this one black also. Everything that's black, you must know that it's marking the monthly levels. So that's our resistance from where we are. Every time it gets to 148, we should at least see some selling or some selling pressure coming through around that area. Any break above that area, more especially if we get a weekly close above 154, 155 area, we could expect to see a bit of of an uptick going up towards 160. Extending maybe to 163, 162.50, somewhere in that zone. Let's now check the weekly time frame, see how it looks like. We need to be very careful. This market is very, very, very dodgy. It's very difficult to trade this market. Oh, okay. We've just had a weekly close above 150. We had it and end of the week 154.27. So to me, this looks like a buy. If you are in already, it looks like a buy. It's been forming a bit of higher highs and lower highs on the weekly time frame. We are above 155, so I expect to see the stock picking up a bit from these levels. Let's see how our daily time frame looks. Let me show you what I'm talking about here when I'm talking about those higher highs. This is what I'm talking about. The market went up there. Came back down. Okay. Went up again. Came down. And went out. So we are trading above this resistance area here. So if the market now decides to come back, that resistance has now turned into support around 154. We can expect to start buying some DSY around 155, 154 area. We are well supported. We are trading above our simple moving average on the daily, above our simple moving average on the weekly. The only one that's worrying me is the monthly around 163. I think that's where we're going to meet our resistance. We're going to see a little bit of selling happening there, but around 154, 155, I like this one. You can actually go in and take along there, but you must be very careful. This market is very choppy. But if you look at the international markets, like looking at the S&P, the index in the States, that market is still looking very strong in my view. I think that we're still gonna have this market going up a little bit. As long as that market is still looking good, I think our market is very healthy at the moment. So it makes sense to buy some. Some dips on DSY, more especially after what we've seen recently. You see, the price came up from 137, it bounced off 137, 138. It went up to that 154. It came back down here. It went up again to that 154. It failed to break above. Came down to our support around 48. Buyers came in, they pushed the price up. The price closed above 154, 155. So this area that was our resistance is now support, so we should expect to see a bit of an uptick from here. Don't know if anyone has a different view. If you do, please let me know. Tell me where you are not happy. Let me show you another thing here. There is a declining trend line here. The declining trend line that's been broken. Declining trend line that's been broken. The market is trading above this trend line. Let me delete these little friends here. I don't need them anymore. Okay, is this declining trend line? The market is broken above it, came back on a retest, went up. Now we're above this area. We should see this market going up. Let's use another indicator. I will try and use RSI. You can use MACD if you prefer using MACD. You can use MACD if you prefer using MACD. I just want to use the RSI. I want to see if there is any negative divergence there that we can use to our advantage. Okay, MACD is trading well above 50, our halfway mark, 50. So anything above 50 on a stock like this is positive. So it means that there is some bullish momentum going on here. So I'm happy with that. We should see the stock really pushing a little bit higher. Let me just add some MACD there to see if I can get anything out of the MACD. Okay. It was coming down, it flattened here a bit, it's now starting to go up. This also is not looking so great, but it's okay. This is positive. Looks like, yeah, we are going to pick up. Anyone who has a problem with this one, Arun, I don't like Head and Shoulders pattern. These things are not reliable because someone else could be seeing don't know. Someone else could be seeing a horse there. So these patterns sometimes they confuse me. That's why I don't like them. I prefer just sticking to support and resistance levels. Yes, you can use those just to confirm, but I mean, don't rely on those a lot because uh, sometimes we misinterpret these pictures. Sometimes that's my only issue. We misinterpret these pictures sometimes. Okay, we've been going up. So, okay, head and shoulders. Where do you see head and shoulders? Are you talking about this small shoulder here, maybe on the left? This is a head, and this is another shoulder. If that's what you're talking about, yeah, I see a little bit of that, but I'm not a big fan. I'll be honest with you there, Arun. Uh, Lutando Fokwana, what are you using? Are you using a mobile device or you are using a laptop? What are you using, madam? I assume you're a lady. Lutando? Are you using a mobile device or mobile device? Oh, yeah, guy. Sorry, big guy. Lutando, if you are using a mobile device, you won't be able to see what I'm demonstrating on my end, unfortunately. You need to be on a laptop or a desktop, unfortunately. I'm very sorry, big guy. You won't be able to catch what I'm showing this side. I'm very sorry. If you are able to, please switch on to your laptop or to your desktop if you have any access to those. Okay, so DSY, I think that you still have some legs to run. Let's move over to something else. Let's look at AGL. AGL is very tricky, huh? I don't know what to say about AGL, but let's have a look at it. Does anyone still have any questions on DSY? If you have any questions, please shoot. Gert, I'm waiting for you there. I can see that you are busy typing a message. I think it's meant for me. Okay. Okay, it's fine. You will. You will, Lutando. I don't know about the sound breaking up there. Maybe the other guys can help me there. You're also getting it. I think maybe it's poor connection this morning. I think maybe it's poor connection. That's the only thing that I can think of. Jones is fine. Lutando, I'll post these on Facebook. I'll try and get maybe one or two from the beginning of the week, and I will make sure that I post them on Facebook. I can never like send it straight to you to lutando@yahoo.com, but I mean, if you insist, maybe I can do that. But I mean, I usually just paste them on Facebook. I post them there. No, I use the quick trade Facebook page. Quick trade Facebook page. That's where you can go, and you can find the old ones as well. We have the old ones there also, and on YouTube also you can go. If you type in quick trade technical analysis, you should be able to get some there on Facebook. Okay, some of the guys are okay with the sound. Okay, guys, let's move on. Let's look at AGL. Okay, let me see the past 6 months. Okay. Okay, the first 6 months of the year, the chart closed at this level here. This is where we closed. We closed at 307.73. We're coming from this area here at the beginning of the year. If you had looked at this one, you could have easily made some money trading this one up from 256 to 307, 320 there. Let me check the monthly. On the monthly time frame, we have the same picture there, where the first 6 months closed. So that area there, 307.73 is our main resistance. If we go on to lower time frames, we should be able to see the exact area where our resistance is located. We can easily find it. But I mean, that's the zone I expect the market to trade between now and December. I expect the market to trade between 256 and 307. Even if the market does come down to 256, the trend is still up. We should still see AGL going up. But for short-term traders, this is not looking good. Short-term traders, okay, the market is below the simple moving average, below that 307.73 last week. Let me just refresh this to make sure that I've got the right chart. Okay, I've just refreshed. Okay, a week before last we closed below the simple moving average, below our 307.73 or 308. We were down 6.5%, and this week we are down 2.7 or 2.69%. It looks like there's going to be a follow through here. We're going to see a bit of a slide on AGL, but that's not confirmed yet. Let's mark the levels that you should be on a lookout for into the new week. Okay. Last week, this is our open. We opened the week at 290.01 and we closed the week at 282. So we're marking the open and the close of last week. Those are the levels that you should keep an eye on. 282, 289, those are two levels. If you want to trade AGL, mark those levels down. 280, 289.99 or 290 down to 282. These are the levels. I expect the market to play within these two levels. If we get a break below 282, you can expect the market to come down a little bit, maybe down towards 272, 270 levels. If on a Monday we get a bounce off this line, we could see this market going back maybe to 287, 290 levels. But looking at the weekly chart, it doesn't look promising. It looks like we're still going to have a bit of a slide on this one. Let's check our daily time frame quickly. Okay, let me show you something here. I did this on the other chart. I'm not looking for this. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, it came down from 330, came down below our our quarterly and monthly. It was support when we were still above this area here, but now we are below the area, so it's now our resistance. We came down below resistance. We went up. We knocked off. Sorry, we knocked. We tried to knock off this area a few times, and we failed in all our attempts to take that area out, and the market came back down again. So it's more like the market is moving down. It hasn't really shown any signs that it's now starting to pick up. Look at the simple moving average on the daily time frame. We're trading below that. We have this 289 and this 280 area. That area there, I do not really expect the market to crack easily. I still expect to see a lot of resistance or a lot of selling pressure coming in on AGL around 290 if we do go higher. Otherwise, if we break below this area on Monday, we get maybe the first hour of trading below the simple moving average on the hourly time frame, you can expect to see the slide the whole day on Monday on AGL. But it's still early days. We're not sure exactly what's going to happen on Monday, but that's what is likely to happen. The first hour of trading is very important. You must keep an eye on it. Between 9 and 10, if you trade below your simple moving average on the first hour of trading, and your daily time frame is looking like this. It's trading below its simple moving average. The weekly is also below the simple moving average. It shows that there is a huge bearish momentum taking shape here. So you must be very careful not to be walked over by this market. 282, 282, we have a little bit of resistance. We are below the simple moving average on the hourly time frame. So keep an eye on that level there, 282, 283. This area here, you must be very careful. Check what happens in the first hour when this market open. If we open below this moving average on the hourly, there's a good chance that you could see this market coming a little bit lower towards those 270 levels that I mentioned earlier. But if we close the first hour above this blue line here, let me make it thicker. If we close the market around above this blue line here, 282.35, 282.50, you can expect to see this market rising, going back to 290. This is where we're going to get more sellers coming in and selling this market. First hour of trading only, I'm talking about here. If the first hour is above our simple moving average on the hourly time frame, above this thick blue line around 282.35, 282.50, you can expect to see the market going up a bit. This is the area where I expect to see sellers coming in and buying, and selling. Okay, guys, I'm done with AGL, unless if some of you still have some questions. You're welcome to ask any question or give me any any suggestion that you may have on AGL. Are we all happy with AGL? Oh, no one is saying anything. Okay. Okay. This one, AGL. Okay. Okay, now let's have a look at NetBank. NetBank. Let's have a look at the past 6 months. NetBank is very, very resilient. This market has been coming down and has been doing very well. This month alone is down 11%. Sure. That's very good. This is where we opened the first half of 2018. We opened at 249. And this was our close around 249, and the market just breached that for a while, and it started moving up again. Let's look at the monthly time frame, see how we look there. You see, where we drew this first 6 months close in 2018, the market turned around this area 245. I'll mark this one black because of the monthly. This is our main support. Well, I mean our main support, and the market bounced off that support and started moving higher. Bounced off the support, started moving up. Okay, although we're still below the moving average, the only thing that I'm not happy about on the moving average is that the moving average hasn't flattened out yet. It's still pointing up. If it's still pointing up like this, you must know that that is not a reliable signal. It needs to flatten out and show signs that it wants to come down. Like I'll show here. You see here, it went up, it flattened out, and it was forming the bars below. So that was a good signal. And here it's just pointing up. This doesn't mean anything really. Besides, we've just bounced off our support there. So it looks a little bit positive. Okay. Well, the only thing that I'm not happy about, I'm not happy that we haven't closed above the weekly, the weekly moving average. We haven't taken out or closed above the weekly moving average. Let me refresh this to make sure that I'm on the right. Oh, you see, very important to update. Sorry to refresh all the time. You see, last week we closed, yesterday we closed above our simple moving average. The close there was 269 or 268.90, around 267.87 is our simple moving average. So this is positive. I think any dip towards 260, I think you can buy that dip on Netbank. Netbank is starting to look good in my view. Any dip towards 260, you can buy that dip and expect the market to run a little bit higher. First resistance around 283, 285, and finally 308, 310. Those are the targets I'm looking at on this one. I think this one is actually looking very good. Let me check the daily and the hourly time frame quickly. Okay, let's refresh. Yeah, it's looking good. Starting to rise. I'd buy this one. Any pullback towards 260, 261, in my view, I think is buyable. Let's look at the hourly time frame to plan for the trading day on Monday. Okay, we are above this 267. We are above 260. We are above our simple moving average on the hourly. Uh, I'm a little bit worried about this. I think we may still have a pullback down to 260. But if you are an aggressive guy who keeps larger stop losses, you can actually go in maybe at 10 after the first hour of trading. If the first hour of trading is above the simple moving average on Monday, if it is above, you could actually go in there and buy this market up. Otherwise, you can wait for the market to come back down to 260. The problem is that I'm not sure whether it's going to come down to 260 or not, but that is what the market does usually. So I don't know what's going to happen here. If you're an aggressive guy, any close above the simple moving average first hour of trading between 9 and 10 on Monday, you can go in and take a long. Otherwise, if you're not too sure what's going on, you can just park your buy order maybe around 260 if you are not willing or if you don't have time to wait for the market to first give you a signal before you jump in. It's up to you how you do that one, but please make sure that you put your stop out of the way. Don't get stopped out unnecessarily. Don't get stopped out unnecessarily on this one. Don't get stopped out, but I think it's a buy in my view. Netbank looks like a buy to me. You should just keep an eye on it and make sure that we follow it all the way up. It looks like a buy to me. Okay, done with Nedbank. Now let's have a look at Sasol. First 6 months of trading, we closed of 2018. We closed at 503 or 502.86, somewhere there. This is where we closed. We closed there, and the market hasn't really broken above 503 yet successfully. So that's the problem I have with Sasol at the moment. I don't know whether Sasol is going to go much higher above these levels, or just going to stop around these levels and go back, or it's going to be trading maybe between 520 and 500. There is a good chance that we could see Sasol trading between 520 and 500 for quite some time. Any break above 520, any meaningful break above 520, let's check. I'll explain what I mean by that. Okay, we haven't closed any months above 503.30, or you can just call it 504 if you like, or okay, let's see what is that. Okay, we haven't closed, we haven't had any monthly close above 503.30. Let's just call it that. Any monthly close above 503.30 or 503, we can expect the market to trade between 520 and 500. We can expect that to happen. At the moment, I'm not really too sure what's happening here. I understand that we are trading above our simple moving average here on the monthly time frame, which means the market is likely to move higher. I understand that part, but I need to see the market taking out 503 on the monthly chart, trading above this area, so that we can actually go in and take more buy opportunities, or more buy opportunities in this market. Okay, this is now the weekly chart. I've just come down to the weekly chart. Check what's happening on the weekly chart. Are we getting something that looks like a doji there at the top? The market went up to 520. Sellers came in, they pushed the price down, and now we have this. I cannot call this a a bullish pin bar. I understand that it's coming from the bottom here, from our simple moving average, but I do not want to really call this a bullish pin bar, guys. I'm very sorry. I don't understand what's going on here. So this market is stuck between 520 and 500. That's all I can say about Sasol. Stuck between 520 and 500. I'm now going to check my daily time frame. Daily time frame, it's looking okay. So we just need to get a close above the simple moving average there, around. I'll tell you where the simple moving average is. Simple moving average is at 505. Any daily close above 505 is likely to take us back to 520 levels once again. But I mean, I have a problem with the fact that we are still we closed below 503.20. We did not close above that area on Friday. We closed below. So let's check what happens on Monday. Any close above 503.30 on Monday could see us going back up to 520 on this one. Let me check the hourly time frame to see what's happening there. You must keep an eye on this one, the hourly time frame on Monday. If you get a close above your 503.30 in the first hour of trading on Monday, above the simple moving average, you can use that as an opportunity to go in and initiate some longs on Sasol, buying Sasol, expecting the price to go up to 520. First hour of trading on the hourly time frame. Check what happens if it close above this 503.30, above the simple moving average. Then you can use that as an opportunity to enter this market and buy this market to go up to maybe 518, 520. Any close below this 503.30, first hour of trading. This is the second. This is the second condition. Any close between below 503.30, first hour of trading below the simple moving average, you can expect to see this market coming down a bit. But I don't see the market opening below the simple moving average on Monday. I just see it through a close above the simple moving average, a close above that 503.30. If we get that close above 503.30, we can expect to see this market really running a bit, going up towards that 516 or 517, 520 level there. Okay. That was Sasol. I'm done with Sasol. If you have any questions on Sasol, please ask. Let's look at the USD JPY. Arun is busy typing a message. Okay, Arun. This one was very flat. Okay. Okay, Arun, you want to know how you can trade the Aussie contract? You can trade the Aussie contract. I will show you now. You must go to your. We have the mini, the OMI. The OMI is the mini. I'll show you now. You must go to account on your Pro Trader platform. Go to margin analyzer. Okay, I want to make this margin analyzer big. Let's see if I cannot extend this. Okay, that's your margin analyzer. I've just extended it. I want to take it back here. Okay, that's your margin analyzer. You see this plus sign here. You go here. You add new symbol. Add new symbol there. You type the OMI. OMI is the mini contract. One contract costs you. Is that an OMI on OZ? One mini contract costs you 3,471. That's how much it costs you. I think you can see. I think you can see that, Arun. 3,471 for a mini contract. Let me get you the full contract. Full contract is the OZ. Full contract costs 34,652. One full contract, 34,652. Perfect. Okay, I'm deleting this one. Okay, now let's have a look at the monthly, time frame. Okay, let me delete this. Monthly time frame, end of June, we closed above our 200, our 10 simple moving average there. We closed at 110.677. So for those of you that went in to buy USD JPY, you are making good money. I'm happy for you. Okay, you were supposed to, position yourself for some long positions here. Let's check the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, the first week that through, okay, last week, first week of July, we closed above our black line there, which is positive. We closed above our black line, above our weekly moving average there. Our black line is our support. And the following week, the US dollar gained 1.25%. So you had to buy this one. There was no reason to go in and take a short on this one. You just had to remain on the long side because this market was supposed to rise and it rose. Let's look at the daily time frame. Okay, daily time frame, we closed below the simple moving average on Friday. That's a little bit bearish. The US dollar got sold off on Friday. It got sold off across the board on Friday. Okay, this is our rising trend line here. This is our rising trend line. Every time the market touches this line, buyers come in and push the market up. So let's hope that when the sellers push this market down, I think on Monday we may see a little bit of a push down towards 111 flat, but I expect to see more sellers coming in around this area buying the US dollar, selling the Japanese yen, and pushing it up again. So I'm still positive on the USD JPY, but I cannot jump in yet. See, we're close below the simple moving average on Friday, so for that reason I cannot buy it. Look at your hourly time frame. Your hourly time frame, let's have a look at it. Let's see how it looks. Hourly time frame, you are still trading below your simple moving average, so you cannot jump in and buy this. You cannot. You cannot jump in and buy this. You need to stay out of this market. Watch what happens first before you commit any of your hard-earned cash. For now, just stay out. Wait for the price maybe to come down to 111, 100, 111 flat. Check what happens there. If you get a close above your simple moving average on the hourly time frame, then you can jump in and take a long position, buying the US dollar, selling the Japanese yen. Otherwise, stay out of it. As long as the market is still trading below the simple moving average on the hourly, stay out of it. You will lose money if you jump in there. You will lose money. So don't trade it. Every time when you get a trade idea, the stock is trading below the hourly moving average, below the daily moving average, below the weekly moving average, you cannot buy the stock unless if you know what you're doing, unless if it's trading at some critical support level. Then you can trade it. Otherwise, just stay away from it, and that will save you a lot of money. If you're an aggressive guy, Arun, yes, you can go short. But let me show you something. Look at your weekly. Your weekly is saying, buy me. That's what it's saying. It's saying buy. It's saying buy. You're supposed to be buying. Let's check what your daily is saying. Well, your daily close below your simple moving average. So if you are a short-term guy, you want to scalp this market, you may go in and short this market. But personally, I'll just wait and make sure that I remain on the right side, which is buying the US dollar, which is buying the US dollar, not selling the US dollar. But there's a good chance that you can make a bit of money out of this because the market is still trading below the simple moving average on the hourly. This is a very powerful tool if you use it. correctly, it can make you a lot of money. So like this, you can still go in and take a shot if you are an aggressive guy. Yes. Yeah, it's possible, Arun. Yes, it's possible that you may get that. It's possible that you may get that. Yes. But you must be very careful in doing that. You must be very, very, very careful because you'd be going against the trend. No. I understand what you mean, but I mean, there's a blind entry. You don't want to enter this market blindly. Just wait for the price to cross above the hourly time frame first. Wait for the price to cross above the hourly time frame, and then you can go in and take some longs. Before the price crosses above, don't do anything. Well, if it goes down to 111, it must first hit 111. After bouncing off 111, closing above the simple moving average, then you go in on the hourly time frame. Then you can go in and take your long there. Okay, Richard, I'll wait for you to finish typing your message there. I agree with you there. I agree with you there, Richard. Although the main tool that I'm using here is the simple moving average on the hourly. I just want to see my price crossing above the simple moving average around some important support area. Once that has happened, then I can start looking maybe at initiating some longs. Before the market does that, no. I would never do anything. I'll just sit on my hands and watch the market. Remember, having no position is a position. Just sitting on cash is a position. So that's very important. Okay, we've done USD JPY. Okay, let's have a look at the US market. We'll have a look at the US 500. Let's see how the US 500 looks like so that we can plan our new week. We can plan for our new week. Sorry. Okay, let's check. 1 month. Okay, we'll have a look at the FTSE, Arun. Okay, we'll have a look at it. Okay, we are looking good. This market is rising. Okay, our monthly resistance is at 2,830 on the S&P. That's our monthly resistance. The market is looking 50. 50. Okay, our main resistance on this one is around 2,830 on the monthly chart. That level is very important. We must keep an eye on it. When the market on the S&P gets to 2,830, you must be very careful. We'll either get a breakout above this area here, or we'll get the market reversing, giving us a reversal, coming a little bit down, maybe towards 2,720, 2,735. So you must be very careful there. But it's still looking positive, nonetheless. Okay, let's look at the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame looking positive. Going up towards 2,830. I like that. Although last week, this is not a very good sign. This is indecision. The guys are not too sure what to do in this market. They're not too sure what to do in this market. I'll keep the same line here. I'll keep it. I'm never going to remove it. I know it's not marking anything on the weekly chart, but it's important. The resistance that we get from the weekly chart, I'll mark it black. I think these are our main resistance between 2,830. Oh, sorry, not between, after 2,830. 2830, this is how you should look at it. Okay, guys, please pay attention. This is how you should look at the monthly resistance. We should not close any month above this area if this resistance is going to prevent the market from moving higher. But any monthly close above 2830, any candle close above 2830 on a monthly time frame is going to attract more buyers to come in and push the stock or the market up to 2875, 2880, which is a possible double top on the S&P. Around 2875, 2880, these two levels are very important right now. If the market gets there and we get a reversal, there is a good chance that we could see this market coming back down to 2,600. There's a good chance that we could see the S&P 500 coming back down to 2,000, coming back down to 2,600. And giving us a range. From 2,600, we can expect the market to bounce off this area, go back up to 2,880 again. We could be stuck in this range maybe for a couple of years. I don't know how many years, but we could be stuck in this range for a few years before we really see a breakout above this area. So it's very important to take down these levels: 2830, 2875, and 2880. These levels are very important on the S&P. The weekly one is 2875, the monthly one is 2830. On the monthly time frame, I said I expect the monthly bar not to close above 2830. But if it does, that would mean that this market is now beginning to move higher towards that 2875 resistance, 2880 resistance, which is very important in this market. This one is going to be a decider. If we take up 2875, 2880, those are all-time highs. If we take that area out, we can actually move much higher, go into uncharted territory. We are not there yet, but we are very close. So be careful. There's a good chance that maybe before the end of August, or okay, between August and September, I think we may get to 2880 and get a reversal on this market and see the market coming back down or breaking out of that 2880. Okay, now let's have a look at the FTSE. FTSE. Huh? Okay, it's fine. Let me just come here. LSE. UK 100 FTSE. Oh, did anyone mention ShopRite? Sorry about that, Marubini. I'll have a look at ShopRite, my big guy. Sorry, man. I had forgotten completely about it. Okay, after this, we'll have a look at ShopRite, the DAX, and the Aussie. There's something very interesting happening here. Guys, please pay attention. This is the monthly time frame. This area here, 7,700, is our resistance. Let me call it monthly resistance. This is our monthly resistance on the top 40. And our support is around 7,500. This market has been trading in this range for quite some time, and I expect this to carry on until we either see a breakdown below 7,500 or a break above 7,700. This market is stuck in a range. This is the monthly time frame I'm using here. We are trading above our simple moving average. Yes, I am happy with that, but we have this double top situation happening here, and the market hasn't managed to break above this area. Every month it tries to break above. In January this year, the market shot up above this area, but it failed to close above the area. It ended up closing below our thick blue line there at the top, below 7,700. Again in May this year, the market, the buyers tried to push the market up, but the sellers came in shortly after that, pushing the price down, letting and making it close below that 7,700 again. June, we had the same situation once again. Buyers trying to push the market up. It came down to our support around 7,500, pushed it up above our resistance 7,700. Sellers came in, pushed it below. It closed below that area. Right now, we are still stuck in the same situation. This is now July. It went up above that 7,700 briefly. Sellers came in, pushed down to 7,500, and now we are very close to that resistance again, around 7,655. That area is very important. Please keep an eye on it, guys. Now, let me change this time frame to the weekly. Okay, let's do the weekly. Okay, let's use that one. Weekly, I'm going to mark it black. Going to mark the weekly black. Okay, beyond the 7,500, you must look at maybe 7,800, 7,780 in that zone. Around there, that's where you can see this market reversing and coming down or breaking up above 7,800. If you get a break above 7,800, we can see this market moving much higher. But if we fail to do so, we could see this market coming back down to 7,500 once again. Another thing, we are trading below our simple moving average on the weekly time frame. Let me refresh to make sure. Yes, we are trading below. Every time we go there to 7,700, sellers come in. So there is a lot of consolidation happening here. You can place a buy order maybe at 7,500 and a sell order around 7,700. If you have a stop loss wide enough, I think you can actually make money here. Okay. Okay. This looks like a bullish a bullish flag to me, but this market hasn't really managed to give us a meaningful break above this area here. So we are still stuck below 7,700 and 7,800. So it doesn't really mean much to me at the moment. So yeah, you must be very careful when trading this market. We've just been trading between these two levels. Let me check the hourly. I don't know if it's going to look nice, but let's just check it. Okay, looks very nice. Friday around 12, we bounced off that 7,700. We closed below the simple moving average on the hourly, and the market shot down for a bit. And late yesterday, we closed below the simple moving average. So let's watch for the first hour of trading in the UK when they start trading. How we do if we close below the simple moving average. If you are someone who is not afraid of going short, you can actually short this market at current levels, expecting the market to push maybe a little bit lower towards 7,580. I think it's possible that we may get there, 2,779, and wait for maybe your cross above your simple moving average to the upside. If you see that, you should know that that the reversal is in place. You need to get out of your short positions. Otherwise, if it carries on going down, maybe to this area here, it crossed below the simple moving average. It went down all the way. It was the 25th of June. It went down all the way to 7,500. If it does that, maybe, yeah, you can actually capture some good profits there. No, that's not how I find I find resistance. I find, okay, it depends what sort of resistance I'm looking for. I'm looking for a short-term resistance or a long-term resistance. Sometimes I use the monthly chart. I mark the open and the close of the candle. That is where I find my support and resistance. Sometimes I use the quarterly time frames. I mark the open and the close of the quarter. I use those as my support and resistance. Sometimes I use the 6 months. I mark them, and they help me identifying those levels very easily. If I decide to use the weekly, I can use the weekly open and the weekly close. Mark those levels here, box the price between those. If the price breaks above, let's say maybe the market was rising and we break above my resistance at the top where the market closed, that area then becomes support, so I should start buying that market. But if we get a close, maybe a first hour close below the previous week's close, I can perhaps decide to take a short there, depending on the mood of the market. If the market is not looking so great, I may decide to do that, but I will show you maybe that later how I do it. Emmanuel, please remind me. Okay, okay, let's do this first. Okay. This is the last half of 20. This is 6 months. This is 6 months. Each bar is made up of 6 months, guys. The last quarter of 2017, sorry, the last half of 2017, we closed at 221. Let's mark that level there. It's very important. Let's mark it. We closed the year around 221. Let's look at market now. The market is trading below last year's close. It's trading below last year's close. So that close is very important. It's currently working as our resistance in this market because we are trading below the last year's close. Now let's mark our support here at the bottom. This is our support. We can expect to see the market bouncing between 221 and 199 on ShopRite. Don't worry about the tails above this zone here, but this is the zone where you should focus on if you really want to buy ShopRite. You can focus between 221 and 199. But this is really for long-term investors, people that are going to hold those positions for a little bit longer, not for people that are going to hold their positions for a week or 2 weeks. But if you see ShopRite coming down to, let me try and refresh this. Let me see. If you see ShopRite coming down to 199, 200, that's a good area where you can go in and take a long on ShopRite. That's a very, very, very good area. Provided you've gotten a reversal signal, the price is bouncing off these 199.62 or 200. Okay, let's look at the monthly chart. We're going to get a different picture from the monthly chart, obviously, but this is what I like here. You see this bar here? We closed below the simple moving average there, end of June. Check what happened in July. July, the market is down 4.75% or 5% already. So if you had taken a short here, you'd be up 4.76%, 4.57%, or yeah, you'd be up if you had gone short. So our support on this one is around 199, 200. The market is still coming down, so I still expect to see this market getting to this level here. The month is not over yet, so I'm still a little bit bearish ShopRite. If you remember, when ShopRite, I think when it was still trading around 240s, 250s, we said we're expecting ShopRite to come down to 225, 230. It came down to 235, 230, and it went much lower to 200. So we are now looking at 199 or 200 as our main support to start initiating our long positions on ShopRite. Let's look at the weekly time frame. Okay, last week we closed 6%. We closed 6% down. The market tried to check where this bar starts, where it begins. It begins right below our 221 that we got from the half yearly time frame, the 6 months. It starts there and it goes down because that area is our resistance. That area is our resistance and it's coming right down to our 199, 200 area. You must check what this market does when it gets to 199 or 200. You must take those levels down, 221 and 199 or 200. Those areas are very important on ShopRite. That's where I expect the price to play around over the next couple of weeks. I expect the price to bounce between the two levels that I've just marked there. We are trading below the simple moving average. That's very important to mark. We've just broken below our important support. This was support, but now we are below this area. So this area has now become our resistance. So any move up towards 221 shouldn't cause any panic to you guys, because you know that that area is our resistance. This is where most of our sell orders are located in this market. Another thing that I want you to look at, the trend, the falling trend line that we have on this one. This is our falling trend line. Every time the market goes up to this falling trend line, it comes down. So we haven't broken above this trend line. So there is no reason for us to be bullish on ShopRite. There is no reason. We should just remain short until we get the break above our falling trend line, above our simple moving average, above our horizontal resistance around 221, 222 area. Okay, let's look at the weekly time frame. Okay. Daily time frame below the moving average, below that 221 important resistance. So we're now waiting for the price to come down to 200. Around 200, if you get any cross above your simple moving average, you can expect the market to pick up. If you want to go into early, you can go for a shorter time frame, like your hourly time frame. You can go for your hourly time frame. Let's check if the hourly time frame is showing us anything meaningful here. Okay, let me check how you should have traded this one. This is in the 18th. The 2. Okay. No, this is not enough. But you should wait for a bounce around 199 using the hourly time frame. The hourly time frame can actually let you get into the position much earlier. Like if you get a bounce at 199 or 200, then you can just jump in and buy this one up to 221. If you're an aggressive guy who's not really afraid of risk, you can go in at 199 or 200. Take a long there, expect a bounce to 221, 222. That's 10%. Can make 10% there easily. So yeah, that's what I have on ShopRite. If you guys have any more questions on ShopRite, please let me know so that we can have a look at it. Otherwise, ShopRite, I think that it's still in a bullish trend. The market is still good for longs. I'm not really worried that much about ShopRite. Okay, let me look at the DAX. Emmanuel, please pay attention on how I draw these lines here to get our support and resistance. I think you have an idea already how I do it. DAX should be here. DE30. Okay. Okay. On the 6 months or the half yearly charts, we have 12,900 or 12,922 as our current resistance. As our current resistance, the market hasn't really broken above that resistance since 2017. We are now in 2018. We haven't broken above that area, so that 12,922 is very important. I'm not going to give you support because this is still running, unless if I do maybe the quarterly time frame. Quarterly time frame, our support is here. This is our support on the quarterly time frame around 12,000. So it's 12,900 and 12,000 on the DAX. 12,900, 12,000. That's our support is 12,000. Our resistance is 12,992 or 13,000 if you like. So there is a 1,000 rand. There's 1,000 points range that we have here on the DAX. 12,000 and 13,000. The monthly time frame, let's have a look at it. Monthly time frame. Okay. Yeah, there's a range there. The range of 13,000 and 12,000 monthly time frame. Let's do the weekly. Okay, let's do this. We are still below our simple moving average here, which means that we could see the DAX coming down a bit, maybe towards 12,000 once again. If it gets to 12,000 and we get a reversal around 12,000, we can actually look to go in and take some longs, aiming for that 13,000 area at the top there. Other people I know, they're already maybe looking at a possible head and shoulders formation here. We can call this left shoulder, head, left shoulder. But I do not want to say that it's a head and shoulders formation because I told you earlier, I'm not a big fan of the head and shoulders formation. I just look at support and resistance mainly. So I'm looking at this area as our 12,000. I think the market is likely to bounce off this area, but I cannot confirm that right away. I need to wait for the market to first get to 12,000 before we confirm whether we're getting a breakdown or a bounce off that area. Okay, let's look at the daily time frame. Okay, we closed below the simple moving average again on this one on the daily time frame on Friday, so we can expect to see a bit of a follow through to the downside. We can expect to see a little bit more selling, but that can't be confirmed yet. We'll check when the market when the market opens again on Monday. But I mean, this rising this rising this uptick that we had here didn't last very long. We closed below, so we should expect to see this market coming back down maybe to 2,200, 12,200, 12,100, even to 12,000 before we get a bounce back to 13,000 once again. So the DAX is stuck in some consolidation has been moving sideways, so there isn't much happening on it. So we should actually expect to see maybe a break to the upside if we are going to get one, or maybe some continuation on that sideways trading there. Okay, and oh, okay, it's fine. Okay, I said we are going to look at the OZ. We're going to be closing our session at 11:30 sharp. So let me quickly have a look at the OZ. I would rather wait for 12,100, 12,200, or even 12,000. That's where I can start buying. Shorting, I don't know. You can short if you're a short-term guy and you understand that you are being aggressive. You can actually go in and take a short there. Okay, I'll use the half yearly chart once again on the OZ. You mark that close. That close last year was no. Okay, yeah, second half of last year. The market went up 16.3%. The close was 53,174 points on the OZ. That's where we closed. And the market failed to make a new high in the first 6 months of 2018. The market failed to close above the previous year's close. The market failed. It came down. So that area is still our main resistance on the OZ or the OMI. Now let's look at our immediate resistance. Our immediate resistance on the OZ is 51,761 or 51,740. That's where our main resistance is actually on this one. And let's look at our support lower down. You can expect to see some support around 46,800 or around 47 area. Around 47,000, 46,000. That's where we can expect to see some real support on the Aussie or the All Share Index. Right now, I don't know really what's happening there, but this picture is not looking too bright for me. It's not looking good. I don't like it. Okay, let's look at it around 51,761 that I mentioned to you. 51,761. Maybe we can push our price a little bit higher. Let's make it 51,800. 51,800. Let's check. March, we failed to close above that line there. Let's make this line black so it stands out. We failed to close above this line here. April, we failed to close. May, we failed to close above it. June, we failed to close above it. May, we tried we tried going above 51,800. We failed again, and the market is still trading here. Well, the month of July is not over yet, but we are trading below that line. So that line is very important. If you are a fan of shorting, that's the line that you can use to short the market. We understand that we have our resistance around 52,500, 52,600. Around that zone, there's some resistance around that area, but the main resistance that you get from the bigger time frames is 51,799 or 51,700, or you can even go to 52,000 if you like. But that area we failed to close above over so many months. Let's check our weekly time frame. A weekly time frame, week before last, we closed below the simple moving average here. We had come down to very close to our 49,000. 49,000, we like it. We think that it's some important support, but not very massive. But I mean, that area is giving us some support. Every time the market gets there, the market bounces off that area. You see this line that I've just drawn here? Every time the market gets here, it bounces off this line. So you can look to buy maybe around 49,200, 49,000 area around there. You can look to buy the index there, expecting the price to go up to 51,800 or 52,000 if it comes down there. But there's a good chance that we could still get another leg coming down. To test 49,000 once again. Any break below 49,000 on a weekly basis could expose us to more, to an aggressive sell-off in this market, pushing us down to 47,000, 46,000. I think that's what is likely to happen on the Aussie. I'm not really bullish on the Aussie right now. The Aussie is stuck in consolidation like all the other markets. The only market that has been pushing up the whole time is the US market. For how long that's going to go on for, I have no idea. But I mean, that is what is happening on the Aussie. The Aussie is stuck between 51,800 or 52,000 if you like, and 49,000 or 49,200. That's all I have for you today, guys. Let me give you my email address so that if you have any questions, you can send me those questions and I'll come back to you. Okay. Sorry, what am I doing? Sister at QuickTrade.co.za. You're welcome, Pietro. It's Sihle at QuickTrade.co.za. If you have any questions, Emmanuel, please send me something there so that I can send you maybe a couple of examples how I do that. Guys, thank you so much. See you again on Monday.